Welcome back once again to Dawn Organic TV. Our topic today is all about vermiculture management. So vermiculture defines as the thrilling potential for waste reduction. So we are using vermiculture to reduce waste and to create fertilizer, as well as an assortment of possible uses for future. So as you can see, we are enhancing the growth of plants that provide food along production, prosperous and financially rewarding fertilizer. So we have here, what kind of worm is this? African nightcrawler. So there. So we are using worms because earthworms are liberated, cost-effective farm relief. So here we're going to collect the substrates. So one of the substrates is the cow manure. So we are now loading the cow manure. And in selecting cow manure, we have to make sure that the cow manure is dry, so that we can produce vermiworms for a short period of time. And we're going to collect another substrate, and this one we are collecting the substrate straight from our poultry farm. So we have here mulberry tree. So we have many substrates here, but the common substrates are mulberry, madre de cacao, and to help them decompose, as you can see, we are using the cow manure. So they break down organic matter, and when they eat, I am now referring to the African nightcrawler. So the African nightcrawler break down the organic matter, and when they eat, they leave behind casting that are an exceptionally valuable type of fertilizer. So there, we are adding another substrate. So substrate means the materials. The market potential for vermiculture. So the world and the local markets for vermicomposting are big. World consumption of organically grown foods is also in demand. So the potential use of organic fertilizer covered, according to research, it's covered 2.4 million hectares in the Philippines, and the demand for organic fertilizer since 1993 was 6.25 billion bags, or 50 kilogram bag for 50 kilogram bag, compared to actual consumption of only 62,000 metric tons. And now we are preparing our cuttings, and we're going to plant this one later. And this one is the mulberry tree. We are utilizing this tree for, we are using the leaves of this mulberry tree in feeding the turkey, rabbits, and our chickens. And right now we are collecting another substrate. Our next substrate will be the banana leaves. And not only banana leaves, but the banana tree itself. So we are using the banana leaves to, or for the production of the vermiculture or the vermi worms. So if you are using banana leaves, we can have bigger worms, and they can easily be multiplied, and they can increase. And the banana leaves also maintains the moisture of our vermi beds. For the ratio and proportion, we have 2:1. So that means if we are adding 2 kilograms of banana leaves or substrates, we're going to add 1 kilogram of worms. And for the proportion of the manure and the substrates or the leaves of the banana or the banana tree, so we are going to have the 2:1. So that means 2 kilograms of banana and 1 kilogram of cow manure. So here we also using the rabbit manure. So instead of cow manure, we can use rabbit manure. So we're going to add another substrate. So many of you are wondering why the leaves of our mulberry, we are adding the fresh leaves. So you can also chop the leaves using the bolo, and you can also add the dry leaves. Not only that, we can also use cardboard and paper pulp as substrates. So here we have many substrates already. So we are utilizing the vermi beds. We are using different substrates. So it's up to you guys. Another one This one is a very good source of fertilizer. We will use the Madre de Cacao or cacahuate leaves. And based on research, uh, these leaves contains nitrogen. So nitrogen is very essential to the plant growth. So you can cut the materials for use as substrate into smaller pieces. So by chopping with the bolo or cutting with scissor. So for large scale of production, so they are using the shredded or shredded chipper or shredder. So finer materials could easily decompose. So there. Banana leaves, mulberry leaves, and cacahuate or madre de cacao. And this time, we're going to utilize the cuttings of madre de cacao. So we're going to plant this one, and probably in the future we can use the or the leaves of this our mulberry tree. So because we are using this sometimes we're using this mulberry tree as the post for our fence. So in harvesting the vermicompost, harvesting will commence 28 to 35 days. It depends on the substrate. If you're going to have the shredded substrates, you can harvest in a short period of time. But if you do not shred the materials, then it takes 4 to 5 weeks, and or mostly sometimes it takes 3 months after you can harvest the vermicompost. So there you have it, guys. And for the advantages of vermicomposting, so number one, vermicomposting is environment friendly, since earthworms feed on anything that is biodegradable. Vermicomposting then partially aids in the garbage disposal problems. Next, no imported inputs required. So worms are locally available, and the materials for feeding are abundant in the locality as market waste. So, for example, grasses, papers, and farm waste. We can use that. So we are now at the next portion of our farm, or the other side of the farm. So as you can see, we are using the mulberry tree as the post for our barbed wire. So it is very strong because, as we can see, the mulberry tree, it grows, and the tree itself, it getting bigger. So instead of using the concrete materials, you can also use the mulberry tree as the concrete post. In the future, we can utilize the leaves. We can We can add the leaves in our vermicomposting. So there you have it, guys, the product. We have the dragon fruit. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. So we're using the organic compost in growing our dragon fruit plants. Thank you so much.